Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Radha here, serving as the Assistant Professor in the Department of Extension Education, Avinashalingam University, Coimbatore. In this class, we are going to discuss about media, very interesting topic, power of media and role and functions of media. Let me start the introduction with the genesis of media. Years ago, when print medium has been the primary source of information, an eminent political personality in Tamil Nadu made an observation which may hold some interest to media evaluators of today. He spoke that if by chance or design I am pronounced to be dead by a newspaper, even while I am alive, I am virtually dead to the world for the day, until I am redeemed to exist through retraction by the same newspaper by the next day morning. Nothing could briefly bring for the unaccessible reach and creditability the newspaper enjoyed then and there their anecdote. But one may wonder whether the same can be said about sanctity of media in today's changed world, where the multiplicity and clutter of media give rise to the credibility crisis. The market economy has gradually but substantially caused shifting the roles of media from being tools for social causes into the overtly business ventures. Media are essential meant to communicate to the masses on issues of public importance, thereby shaping and churning their opinion towards collective responsibility in a democratic system of governance. The diverse formats of media available now, newspaper, journal, magazines in the print, the electronic media of satellite or cable television and the digital era, media of internet, social media network have widened their reach in fulfilling their largest social objective, no doubt. But the mute question that haunts media expert is how far the collective media or mass media have marched towards fulfilling the task of fair and unbiased coverage of news and current affairs, or leading the public towards informed decision making. The exploiting information technology has precipitated an exponential growth of multimedia, but it has also brought in its wake the crucial questions regarding fair practices by the media. Houses in presenting facts for consumption of end users, namely the renters or the viewers as cause may be. Tracking India's media's history a bit. Making its beginning, the print media about 180 years ago, the media legacy in India, like its political, administrative and institutional framework building, bears its colonial background. This colonial hangover has given to the English and the regional vernacular media tag. One can see this language divide running across all formats of media as they are prevailing today. A peep into the origin of Indian press. Newspaper began to appear in 1840s to 50s as information sheets in the form of weekly or journals newspaper. In the name of the Gazetted in these days, started by Englishmen by the benefit of Englishmen in India. Soon Indians too began to take interest in launching journals and newspapers that sowing the seeds for Indian journalism. In the course of development and growth of Indian press, an harmless divide in the print media as harkered as Anglo-Indian newspaper supporting the British government and the national newspaper supporting the cause of Indian freedom movement. This element of fact has gone into turn early in the Indian press being essentially patriotic and vociferously anti-British. One can also perceive the fact that the tone and content of the press in India even today heavily lean towards reporting politics and politicians. Speech orientation, opinionated, speechless, besides paying greater attention to government announcements. The surge of newspaper in post-independent India gained momentum with the Free Indian government setting in motion successful development plan. Evolution of media. By the middle of last century, the stringent growth of media invited interesting comments and probing on the role of media from media watchers and experts. One such luminary in the field of media studies was Marshall Mulhern, 1911 to 1980s. The Canadian media stalwarts who coined the frame expression medium is message and the concept of global village through his pioneering works on understanding media. The convergence of media as it has happened nearly half a century later has gone into strengthen M.C. Luhan views and insight on the media evolution, especially the internet www, about which it is said he predicted almost 30 years before World Wide Web made formal presence. His insight, according to the mass pundits, has been the medium affects the society in which plays a role not just the content delivered over the medium, but the characteristics of the medium itself. Perhaps instance of reports one may come across the states on the television and the webcasting make one consciousness about the relevance of M.C. Luhan observation on the impact of media and the society at large. To cite the instant, the repetitive broadcasting and streaming of footage of unimaginably violent incident over the TV and the short, but unverified comments on social media web pages repulsively reminds the extended thought of the modern media. This excessive coverage, whose pernicious impact may be in the form of social unrest, can be traced to a very characteristics of the medium at inherent danger. On the positive side, the same analogy could be brought to the focus to the beneficial impact too. The way the digital media responded during untesting times of 2015 Chennai flash flood and the ensuing human suffering witnessed during the calamity was the classic example. The social media rose into the occasion and extended succor to the affected people by mobilizing volunteers in sharp contrast to the government arms, lying into limbo, failing to respond adequately. Similar successful media campaign for unity, largely attributed to the internet, social media messaging. During the youth uprising to the Jallikattu protest in Tamil Nadu in January 2016 has made the media watchers turn into new emerging realities in the social front. Instant messaging services like WhatsApp, Twitter, and Facebook, extended arm of modern media, have proved a world of difference in reaching real-time information to the users sitting in their drawing room. The interactive nature of this media has given the user the hope and confidence that have somebody at the other end live to listen and interact with them. This element of spontaneity has forced that print medium and television broadcasting to reinvent themselves to the new environment brought into the internet world, and also adapt the internet culture in their domains too. News is sacred, but market is merciless. The print medium, as the forerunner of information and communication disseminator, has also been credited with adhering the ethics by remaining uncompromised in the matter of factual reporting of news and current affairs. The much-rooted adage in the old newspaper establishment has been news is sacred, while comments are free. This has been unwritten code in the media bygone era. This phase is virtually drowned now in the din of modern media, adopting themselves to the business models which weigh heavily on profitability. The main income of the media as the whole is, of course, the advertisement, which is fact helped the newspaper management in cross-subsiding their ceiling cover price. The last millennial close, India's traditional media houses facing winds of changes that swept in tatters. It brought with full force the emergence of new media, the electronic and digital media. Commercial TV begins to take roots and assert themselves as strong contenders in the area of news gathering and dissemination. The new medium too began to grab its slice of advertisement revenue in the marketplace, which it is remained the main domain of print medium. It is not just end of it. Even the satellite TV channels rolled strongly across the media horizon. The advent of internet, which began as a trickle in the information highway at the beginning, turned it into delve to the felt widely in the media world in the form of technological changes. This tectonic shift in communication technology has also unreserved and established old media houses, causing uncertainty in the business fortune. Ethical aspects of media coverage is the so-called free media or the objective coverage of information, a fact or myth. Can a media house stick to the fact and yet survey in an era where vested interest reigns supreme in every sphere of human activity? Is the freedom of the media really for the free media or for the media for the promoter of the media? These are certain vital issues that confront the media, which is faced with the prospect of losing out of Edivis as the professional body into the evolving culture of jobbing enterprises or businesses. It is not small measure to say even to defend its freedom to provide objective information to the society. Any media house should first ensure the financial viability so as to sustain and survey itself to the marketplace. The first fight of viability quietly on the media have begun to engage themselves in the game or adjusting to the newer competition and protecting with tough. The strategies to beat competition are manifold. If raising the bar of quality in one aspect, blunting the competitor's edge in the marketplace is another. But where the issue really blows out is the method adopted to achieve this end. Too much reliance on advertisement rather than subscription as main revenue model is the crux and conflict but within and outside the media today. The media watches or view when their news content fails to sustain the readership, viewership growth and thereby cases to increase revenue. Media try to leverage it as direct source of income through advertisement. This, according to them, has created in prisoners situations like paid news in which materials or advertisement in nature get passed as news. Biased news reporting goes on unchallenged, prompting media to resort to what the industry calls sunshine journalism, where the focus will be on glass that is quarter full rather than which is three-quarter empty. When media highlights is one sidely or brighter side of life and goes within the tide of those vested with discriminatory spending power with their causes, and the former role as defender of public interest is relegated to the background. Let me talk about the significance of newspaper. Newspaper plays an important role in human life. Newspapers act as a platform to get information from all over the world. It brings the disseminated information to our doorstep. It plays a crucial role in the empowerment of rural communities. It has many abilities with the modern inventions like radios, television, computers and network do not have. Sources of awareness. Newspaper act as a great source of awareness. The newspaper give information about health, finance, gold, rate, job opportunities, etc. Newspapers also create awareness about the environmental issues like global warming, greenhouse effect, the threat of plastics, etc. Some newspapers create awareness among the women about the importance of breastfeeding. The people who read the newspaper follow the awareness which they gained from the newspaper in the regular life. Thereby, their standard of living improves. In this way, newspapers play a significant role in the development of the rural areas, learn most of their lessons from the newspaper. Television. Television is used effectively for providing vital information for the farmers and to the rural people. Television makes the character unique, attracts viewers' attention and makes them glue. The combination of visual amplification, sound amplification, zooming, fading processes are more effective and has great impact on the viewers than other extension teaching methods. Television is an electronic gadget with audio-visual medium with the combination of words and sounds effects. This medium is absolutely used for mass awareness. This can be dealt with topical problems and provide solutions. Television is strong in providing and creating impact among public and covering huge audience. Television creates more impact due to flexibility and less time taken record and telecast programs and wider coverage compared to radio. Television has more than radio. There are various programs telecast in television: entertainment, awareness program and education programs, etc. Farm telecast. According to the report compiled by the Research and Reference Division of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in 1984, each selected village was provided with direct reception set, and to cater the unelectrified villages battery operated sets were installed. The government recognized the imperative role of television in bringing about the desired social change and established in April 1, 1983. The government took up program under INSAT for promotion of agriculture productivity. With increased capability of satellite communication and television transmission of India, telecast of agriculture and rural development programs are organized in a big way. Radio. Radio is the good source of communication of ideas to the rural people, especially in countries like India. They give news bulletin, special program for rural people, housewife and children. This is the good source of dissemination of agricultural information. Farmers. Farmers are now organized under the joint of our species of All India Radio and the state community development departments. That All India Radio station public their journal Akashavani. This give the meters and frequency in kills, cycles on the medium and short waves videos. Video is a very powerful tool as an education as well. The main advantage of video is that it can be used to produce development program at the cheaper rate as compared to films. Video equipment are easy to carry and flexible even in remote areas. The program can also be recorded in the field while interacting with the community. Video films recording can be done locally, viewed, erased and re-recorded to suit the objectives and the needs of the audience. Rural radio can be used to disseminate agricultural research in the following ways. Research findings can be distributed through radio to various approaches like non-governmental organizations dealing in agricultural projects, extension workers, farmers themselves, academic institutions. Rural radio can make the link between the researchers as well as the extension worker by offering information on where research can be obtained and used, how to pass it to the users, to the communities to get feedback regarding research. Rural radio can be used to collect feedback from the communities. Through various programs, farmers give their response to research. Farmers share their experience to use of this research. Rural radio aims out farmers' views and recommendation on how to improve the research. Communities provide alternatives depending on their experiences. Radio can also be used to announce process of research by extension workers, give venues for meetings with extension workers, advise on where to get inputs and services, advise on where to get technical support, how to use video and television for rural development. Television plays a crucial role in transferring latest agricultural technology to the rural people. Since the beginning television relays various programs related to rural education. Special programs known as Krishi Darshan was started in January 1966 and today this has been a regular feature of telecast in each and every TV center. This program covers various aspects of rural development. In remote areas, electronic shortage is very common since television sets are a bit costly. So that reason, using television is less when compared to radio. The program should be made in vernacular languages, reflecting the socio-economic mileage of the village. TV programs provide social awareness among the rural poor. Enhancement of awareness will generate new outlook and sensitivity among the rural poor for their own problems without which their empowerment cannot be achieved. Rural development programs in television. When television was introduced in India in 1959, television was to be the medium of education. Television is the instrument to support programs of socio-economic development. Television is the powerful tool and weapon to bring social awareness among the public, especially in the rural areas. It would play a major role in cultivating social consciousness and respect of law and order of social awareness. Then cable television. In recent era, cable television telecasts various development programs. In particular, cable television can suit the local needs of the people. The government can steadily amend the law governing cable TV to facilitate its use of rural development. Films. Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, some agencies such as private fertilizer or agriculture machinery manufacturer and voluntary organization has also made film in rural areas. Numerous films have been produced on the variety of themes related to rural development. For communicating films as the ideal medium is paradoxically the medium of non-communication. As for the rural audience is concerned, Film Fraternity makes some documentary exclusive for rural and neo-literate audiences. Film are the power of attracting all sorts of audience and disseminating the information among the public on various social issues. Let me conclude. India media is basking on bargaining domestic market, which has thrown open opportunities for them to expand. The country is witness to media convergence, where major broadcasting companies have set their foot in print medium and big newspaper chains have sought to expand to electronic media, particularly satellite TVs, with the view to grab the market opening up in news and entertainment sector. In the last decade, newspapers have begun expanding to newer areas and cities. This gives opportunity for more area of operation in news gathering as well as attract local advertisement. But the question often one hears is the social platform with regard to media management is whether the Indian media has chosen to be right instead of good is so far delivering its social responsibility. Due to the accommodate as much space to issues like public health, education, environment in their coverage has to do for entertainment. Should the media be just satisfied by themselves in saying that they should give only what their readers and viewers want, or should they give what the readers and viewers need to be better informed about the important issues of public interest? Thank you.